to watch, but that's okay. Oh, I think I'm live. I believe I'm live. I am live. Hey, what do you know? We're live. Hello, everyone. Yes. And I've decided well, welcome to the final cut. Mark the Movie Man here. And many years ago, I used to do a Oscars prediction and consequences show. And basically, what that entailed is that I would make Oscar predictions, and depending on how many I got wrong, determined how many bad movies I was going to watch and review for our channel. That's I did that, and I did that for a few years, and it didn't work out so well. Mostly because I'm not the best at choosing the Oscars by any means. Our good friend Tiger Power, Mr. Tony Estrada. If you catch him, you should check his Oscar predictions out. He's really good at it. Mr. Gabe, Stuffed Burrito Entertainment. He's very good at it. I'm not very good at it, but I like to give it the old college try again. We're going to make our predictions, but we're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Um, because why not? And so I've made my predictions, and we're going to cover that tonight. But we also have the Wheel of Random. And the Wheel of Random, how we're going to do this is a little differently because used to, depending on how many I got wrong, determined which movie, how many of the bad movies I was going to watch from the pool. But I kind of picked, which of the bad movies, how many of them of that pool I was going to watch. Well, I decided to do it a little different this year, spice it up and that. So, what we're going to do this year is for each category I pick, I'm going to spin the wheel of random. Now, the wheel of random, this thing is great. And the selection on here are bad movies that were suggested by some wonderfully talented critics and filmmakers and folks I know. They were very kind to, or maybe unkind, to suggest, what movies should be in the pool of things to that I'll have to watch as a consequence. Now I came up a little short, but that's okay because I was able to fill in the blanks with a couple of past suggestions I've had from my good friends as well. They know me. They also know what I will consider, what my wheelhouse of movies are, and so we've got an interesting selection that we have here. So this is the first time I've tried doing this like this, and I figured I'd do it live. So, there's no shenanigans going on, none of that going on. We're going to just go scroll down the list. I made 13 picks. I will try to keep this not too long. But yeah, we've got 13 picks we made, which means I have 13 movies potentially. If I get all my picks wrong, I have 13 bad movies that I will bring as a review to you on the final cut within the next 2 months. I got to give myself a time frame too, otherwise it might be a really long time before I get around to watching these. So hey, welcome our one viewer. And if you got any suggested comments or other things, I'd love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments. And if you like what you see, subscribe so you can see what consequences I have to face. So let's roll right along now with our final cut predictions and consequences live edition. So the first category we're looking at is best actor, and yes, I'm picking Brendan Fraser. The nominees, and I'll figure out the formula how to do this by number 13. Don't worry. The nominees were Austin Butler from Elvis, Colin Farrell from The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser from The Whale, Paul Mescal from After Sun, and Bill Nighy from Living. And I'm picking Brendan Fraser. Now, personally, I don't think the story of The Whale was that great, but I think Brendan Fraser's performance of it, on the other hand, was wonderful. And so, that's one of those to where it's the story may not be the best, but hey, The performances are phenomenal. So we're gonna do best actor is gonna be Brendan Fraser, although I think Austin Butler may have a chance as well. That's the closest I would say in this category. Don't get me wrong, everybody else is talented, but I would be surprised if Brandon Fraser is not the winner. Well, let's see what the wheel of random has for us to decide on. So we're going with here the wheel of random. Let's spin it and find what the solution will be. All right. This was picked by, I believe, yep, Tony Estrada picked this one. And for best actor. So if I get the best actor category wrong, I am going to have to watch the hottie and the naughty. Excuse me, I have to make notes of this because yeah, this is random, and we will remove that one from the list now. So if I get that one wrong, folks, that's the one I'm going to have to watch for that. So let's move right along, shall we, to the next category, which is actor in a supporting role. You probably know what I'm going to pick for this one too, but what we're going with, we've got our nominees of Brendan Gleeson from the Banshees of Inner Sheeran. I'll get it right one day. Brian Tyree Henry from Causeway, Judge Hirsch from The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan. I hope I pronounced that right. He's from the Banshees of Inerish as well, and Ki Hui Kwan as from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And you probably know what I'm going with this one. Oh yeah, best supporting actor, Ki Hui Kwan. He's just been taking the awards shows by storm. Totally deserved as far as for the performances for what I've seen in this category. I think it's actually a really good choice, and I hope I'm right. But if I'm wrong, let's go back to the wheel of random and see what movie we are going to have to watch if we get this one wrong. Spin, 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 spin. And we are on Deepwater. It looks like the film is called Deepwater. It was suggested by Mr. Don Shanahan. Yes, of 25 years later, cinephile Hissy Fit. He's involved in so much. He's just got a long list of fantastic projects he's in. But so I will have to watch Deepwater if I get the best supporting actor category wrong. Let's remove it from the wheel as the list continues to wind down. So our next here is going to be the actress in a lead role. Very heated debate, I'm sure, by some out there. But let's see what we got here for that category. So we're looking at Kate Blanchett for Tar, which I saw, which she is, yes, very good in it. Don't get me wrong. So there is that. There is Anna de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And so you probably know what I'm going to pick for this one, folks. Yep. Best actress going to be Michelle Yeoh. I really think that that is going to be something that she is going to take. I'd really like to see her take. I hope she takes it. So we'll see what happens there with that one. But that one's going to be a little more of it because Kate Blanchett does put in a great performance in Tar. I just was not, in all honesty, that impressed with Tar. But I know some people really love it out there. But yes, best actress in a lead role is going to be Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Wheel of Random, let's spin it and see what my consequence is if I get this one wrong. So exciting. Oh, suggested by Miss Angelique Bone, we have The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here. So, wow. I've seen this one a long time ago, and I thought she liked me, but apparently I've done. It's probably because I didn't like the mayonnaise. Dave's. I think it's Dave's mayonnaise or whatever it is. That's why she suggested that one. But that's definitely an interesting film, and to revisit that, oh yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting. Back on to our list now, supporting actress. Actress in a supporting role, Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Hong Chow for The Whale, which she was phenomenal in, don't get me wrong, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And as much as I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once, yeah, we're going to have to go with Angela Bassett from Wakanda Forever. Just yeah, just her performance was on a whole nother level, regardless of what you might feel for the film itself of how good Wakanda Forever is. Her performance is so memorable in that movie that you have to pick that. But what do we have to pick here for our wheel? Let's check the consequences, folks. And if we do not get this, it's CB Dance from Movieocrity himself, Mr. Scott Davis. I've heard things about this film. Mr. Derek Carey of the Astro Radio Z podcast has seen this, and he survived barely. So, best supporting actress is going to be CB Dance. So the list is winding down, and on to animated feature. So we've got the animated feature here, folks. And what are we looking at? Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go here with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Unfortunately, I actually have not seen. I think I've seen Turning Red of the animated films on here, but just I want to see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I just haven't gotten around. I know it's on streaming, but yes, I think that is going to win the animated feature. Though a lot of people would love to see Marcel win, and maybe that's going to be the dark horse. It's hard to say. But our consequence film for that one. Let's find out now. This list is getting scary now, folks. It's getting. I mean, we had CB Dance on here. What do we got now? Oh, it's the Britney Spears film. I have a feeling I may be watching this. The Britney Spears film Crossroads. Now, I do like my Britney Spears. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that was suggested by our friend Stephen Milik. Thank you for the suggestion on that. And that is going to go for that category. I have a feeling I'll be actually watching that one. So, yeah, that one, I've heard things definitely, and nothing good. So, cinematography. Let's move on to cinematography, shall we? Cinematography, camera work. It's interesting the ones they picked. I've seen most of these. So, you've got Tar, you've got All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, and Empire of Light. Now, while I am a Baz Luhrmann stan, I love Baz Luhrmann films. I'm going to have to go with All Quiet on the Western Front for the cinematography. I just recently watched that, and I thought it was very well done as far as the camera work goes for it. And so, yeah, I think that's the one that's going to win. But I just this is really this getting nerve wracking to see what films are going to be for these categories that I'm not quite certain on. So let's spin it. For cinematography, it is going to be Derek Carey's pick of Son of the Mask. Again, another one I most likely will be watching. So, we got it. I'm glad I stocked up on the good rum. So, there you have it, folks, for our cinematography pick. And let's keep rolling right along here. Which category did I pick next for this? Writing, original, the original screenplay writing. So let's go down to original screenplay writing here. Writing, original screenplay. So for this category, you have the Banshees of Inisherin, you have Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, I watched Triangle of Sadness, and I will say the script was definitely interesting, and that could be the dark horse in this category. But for me, I just it's one of those things where I have to go with let's see, I think that I please tell me I made a slide for it for you fine folks. I did. Haha. And we are going with original screenplay is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is what I picked for that for the original screenplay. It is original out of all the films that I watch. I thought it really surprised me what they did with it. Not only playing off of the trend of multiverse, right? But taking an indie spin with it and giving it the theme of family. So, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is the film, and our consequence movie for that one. Well, what do we got? Rhinestone, our own diva of the spoiler room. Rhinestone, the Dolly Parton epic. So Rhinestone, if I get that wrong, I'm watching some Dolly, which I don't mind Dolly. I have not seen Rhinestone for a very long time. I remember it not being the best, but hey, that's what we get. So yeah, Rhinestone. Oh, I forgot to flip the category. Well, got to fire our producer on this one. So sorry about that. So yeah, where are we on here now? We've got best director. So best director category is an interesting one. Interesting picks for best director. So let's find the category here. Here we are. For the categories, the nominees are the Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonough. We've got Everything Everywhere All at Once with Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneinert. The Fablemans, Steven Spielberg. Tar by Todd Field, and Triangle of Sadness by Ruben Ostlund. And yeah, best direction is going to be, that's a tough call. It's really going to be a tough call, but it's been an indie favorite and festival favorite. And yep, there you go, folks. I'm picking best director is going to be for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think it's going to be the safe vote that people pick, and not so safe, our consequence. So let's find out what that's going to be. Let's wind it down, folks. What do we got? So I've not even heard of this film before, but we've got the Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. I think I've heard this title. This was suggested by Mr. Matt Marshall, and that is going to be our consequence film for the pick of best director. Should we get that wrong? So yeah, this is just okay, this is getting so we're moving on to film editing. I gave it away again. Yeah, I gotta fill the production guy. We're gonna have to fire him. But there you go. There's a little spoiler, I guess, for film editing. I think is going to be Paul Rogers. It's going to be Maverick for editing. While everything else on here, the Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Wow, I screwed this show up. And we're doing it live, so you're catching the raw deal here. No edits here, folks. So Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm sorry, editing. Mavericks on there, which was deserving. So Tar, Elvis, I could see maybe beating out Everything Everywhere All at Once, possibly for editing. But Paul Rogers for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now that I have that correct, my apologies for speaking, I think we'll take this category as well. Just if you watch that film, the fact they've got that one scene where they're flying through the uh, different realms and the way they edit just the one shot alone had to be a nightmare to edit. And so, out of all of these, I think even with Elvis in there, they had to get the most creative and most sharply editing with everything everywhere all at once. So, film editing, everything everywhere all at once. And our consequence, should we get this one with the film editing? Oh, Things, the Canadian epic Things, suggested by Tom Berdinsky, filmmaker in his own right, indie filmmaker. And yes, there you go. Get that editing wrong. We're going to have things because surprisingly enough, I have not reviewed things for the final cut. That surprises me that I had not actually done that. I thought for sure I had, but apparently I haven't. So there you have it for that. We're winding down here, folks. Bear with me. Sorry, this show's a little long, but I wanted to do it live, so it's all on the up and up of the ones that I pick, right? So let's go to music. I love my scores. I love them. I love a score, a really good score, and original score. We're gonna pick. So the nominees for this category are "All Quiet on the Western Front" of Volker Bertelmann, "Babylon" by Justin Hurwitz, "The Banshees of Inisherin" Carter Burwell, "Everything Everywhere All at Once" Sun Lux, and "The Fablemans" John Williams. And I am going for the upset. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a chance, folks. And we are going with, yes, Justin Hurwitz, I think, for Babylon. I love the music in Babylon personally. And yeah, maybe this is a hopeful pick. Maybe like, please pick. But yeah, we're gonna go with Babylon's score for best original score. Even though All Quiet on the Western Front is decent, it was different. It was definitely different for a period piece. The way they did that score was interesting. But I really dug the Babylon music there. And for we know the routine, let's get right to it, right, movie man? We only got 3 movies left on this list, so what do we got? Angelique suggesting The Wash. So The Wash is going to be our film to watch should we get that wrong. Now we did 13 picks and we've got 3 left. So I've got a surprise if for the last one. Okay, for the last one, I'm saving that one. Something special there. So for a sound, for the category of sound, which is the technical pick, but I always like picking sound because, especially this past year, I think the sound has been so good. And so we got All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of the Water, The Batman, which does have some wonderful sound in it. Don't get me wrong, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick. And what am I going to go with? Well, I have to go with Top Gun Maverick for sound. It rumbles the seats, it rumbles the theater. It was engrossing. They cut back on the music and a lot of the sound effects that come through for that film. You feel like you're in the jets, and so sound. I think Top Gun Maverick will win. And what will win the film that I will have to watch as the consequence? Should I think that people don't get the sound, it's going to be Who Killed Captain Alex Banks. So that, if I get that wrong, that was suggested by Annie Banks, very talented, one of Earth's mightiest critics. She's involved in a lot of things. She suggested Who Killed Captain Alex. I have actually not heard of that film before either. So that's why I was happy she was able to suggest it. And yeah, so that is for if we get that category wrong. And now, bear with me. I have one more on here. It's down to these last two, and one of these is going to be a revisit, and I may just do it as a co episode. We'll have to see. But here we go with this one. So we've got visual effects yet, and the nominees are Avatar, Way of the Water, Avatar, Way of the Water, Avatar, Way of the Water, and Avatar, Way of the Water. No, I'm just kidding. The visual effects are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of the Water, The Batman, Black Panther, Maverick, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and then Top Gun Maverick. So, what do I think will be the winner for that? Avatar: Way of the Water. It's just for what they did with that film, you know. Yeah, just for what they did with that film, I think it's going to win. And for that one, we aren't going to spin actually for visual effects. Should we get that one wrong, that one is going to be a requin. A requin was suggested by our friend Caddy. And so if I get visual effects wrong, I will have to watch the film for requin. And why did I do that? Well, here we go. The last one, best picture, right, is going to be an interesting pick, but I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the reason I believe that is because it's going to be the safe pick out of all the ones. I have actually watched all the films for the 10. I was able to cram in the 10 best picture nominees, and I found that out of all of them, while they're all deserved to be nominated, I really think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to take the best picture. Now, that's a big statement. I know. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, Mr. Ian Simmons should be happy to know out there that should I pick wrong and Best Picture not win, Everything Everywhere All at Once not win Best Picture, I will revisit Freddie Got Fingered. But we may do it as a co-episode with Mr. Ian Simmons, who loves that film. I did it for a consequence. One of my first consequence films, I did a review for Freddie Got Fingered. Check it out on the YouTube channel. It is, I was not I did not enjoy that film. So, to revisit it, gonna take a lot, but that's why I'm putting a lot on the fact that I really, really think Everything Everywhere All at Once. But if it's not, I will talk to Mr. Ian Simmons, and we will see what happens for the Freddie It Got Fingered revisit. Not really done a revisit episode before, so it'll be something new as well there. So yeah, folks, there you have it. Thank you for hanging with me on this Saturday night. Those are the I'm not picking every category because some of them I haven't seen any of them, and I just don't feel comfortable making picks. So Oscars are tomorrow. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And yeah, we will have the result video coming this week because the Oscars are tomorrow, and we'll find out just how many or which ones of these bad ones, I should say, these bad movies, I will end up watching, and thus bringing the review to you. So, thank you so much, everyone. And remember, until next time, keep that ticket stub and enjoy the Oscars.